Alright guys, what's going on today? Welcome back to the channel. You already know what I'm talking about in this video. It's the new Boruto Chapter 57. Woo! You understand? You know what's making me act up right now. You know, Delta's out of the picture and now it's Eida. You already know. And this chapter was sick. It's a lot of explanation on who Eida is, what's her power, all sorts of stuff. So let's get down to it. A quick summarization. The chapter starts off with Code awakening Eida. And from there, it goes to the Gokage summit where Naruto's talking to all the other Kages, and Gaara tells him that, you know, if you gotta kill your own son, will you be able to do it, and all sorts of stuff. And then it cuts out to Amado talking to Naruto, saying how he had a daughter and she died 12 years ago. And then he talks about how Boruto could take this medication, it'll stop his Otsutsuki-fication, and if his daughter or wife take it, it'll hurt them. And then it goes back to Eida talking to Code about how she was modified by Amado, and how she can't love anybody because of her powers. Then she talks about how she knows everything, she's seen everything. It's all sorts of stuff. All right, this chapter was crazy. So first things first, let's start from the beginning. So when you see Code go into Aida's chamber, or where she's sleeping, he slices open the door, he awakens her and talks to her. You can see Bug is telling him, yo, be careful, like, you know, you don't wanna awaken her, but he doesn't listen. He just slashes her through. We don't know her age. That's the thing. I'm gonna be honest, we don't know what Aida's age is. It could be 12 years old, but I doubt it. Alright, she's not the same age as Boruto and them. Reason I say that, her and Code be drinking, alright? So I doubt these guys are 12, 13, 14, whatever years old. We don't know Kawaki's age. The anime told us that Kawaki's age is the same as Boruto's. Anyways, after he awakens her, she gets out, and there's like a little pause there. Then it cuts off to the Hokage summit, where Naruto is talking to the other Kages about Boruto and Code and how they're trying to find Code. Now, Naruto and Shikamaru are talking about how Code is going to try targeting Naruto and how he's going to try taking him out first before he infiltrates the village. So then all the other Kages ask Naruto if Amado is 100% trustworthy. Even Naruto himself doesn't 100% go along with Amado. We know there's something suspect about Amado, but these guys have no choice but to follow. So then Gaara tells Naruto, he's like, is Boruto alright? Naruto's like, yeah. And then Gaara's like, if he undergoes the transformation and turns into an Ishiki level of threat, will you be able to take him out? And Naruto's like, I'll have to do what I can. Like, there's a brief pause there. You could tell Naruto was a bit, you know, hesitant. But he's like, I'll have to do what I have to do as Hokage. I think that was the answer they wanted to hear. Because Naruto can't say anything otherwise. Otherwise, his personal feelings get in the way of the ninja world. Even Sasuke told Harada back in the anime, when he's like, personal feelings only get in the way of missions. So it's the same thing there, same thing here, where Naruto can't let personal feelings get in the way between, you know, his mission, the village, because they're all his family and there's peace, right? So if it comes down to it, I think Naruto may have to kill Boruto, but we'll see where that goes. After this, the scene cuts out to Amado. Now, the funny part here is right after the panel where Naruto's like, I'll have to do what I can as Hokage, you can see Amado talking to Naruto, and he's like, I already talked to Sasuke. He said he's willing to do what's necessary, meaning Sasuke is ready to kill Boruto as well if he transforms. They don't kind of show that, but I guess you got to interpret that way that he's going to kill him if he needs to. You can see Naruto had the fear in his eyes when he was talking to Amado. He's like, I don't want to believe anything's happening to Boruto, but I can't, you know? And this is actually the first time in all of the Boruto mangas we've seen so far that Naruto has actually shown fear. Now that's how you know he really deeply cares for Boruto. He doesn't want anything to happen to him. And now he himself is scared too that something might happen to Boruto. So then Amado's like, I know how you feel. He's like, I had a daughter too, but she died 12 years ago. Now it's kind of weird when you think about it. 12 years ago, that's when Boruto and them were born. So we don't know who his daughter is. There's a possibility that Delta could be his daughter. Now if you read the previous manga chapters, when Jigen comes back after the Sasuke fight, you can see Jigen was talking to Amado saying your wish will come true as well. Now we know what Amado's wish is to bring his 12-year-old, we don't know how old his daughter was, but to bring his daughter back to life. The reason I say it's Delta is because when Amado looked up, he looked at Delta, and Delta's like, stop giving me those weird stares, you creepy old man. Kind of gives a weird vibe that, you know, he's looking at Delta. Most likely Delta is probably his daughter, but since she's turned into a cyborg, she doesn't have the memories or anything. So there's that possibility. Or he's trying to turn Delta into a real life human, which we don't know how that's going to turn out. But I have a feeling either it's Eida or it's Delta that's his daughter. The funniest thing that would get me is if Sumire is his daughter. All of a sudden, she was actually adopted by her parents and she's his real daughter. Like, that'd be crazy. But yeah, I think it's Eida or Delta. Anyways, Amado gives Naruto the pills, and these pills will suppress Boruto's Otsutsuki-fication, but he said there's some side effects. Now these side effects can include loss of vision in the eye that is going, so most likely the Byakugan, so that's the right eye, since Momoshiki has a Byakugan. And even Sarada said that his right eye turned into a Byakugan, because Boruto himself doesn't have a Byakugan, so his right eye is the one that will transform. The other thing is possibly leading to death. You can see Naruto's a bit shocked, and Amado tells him that, you know, it's Boruto's choice make sure you talk to him first. He's like, I don't know what you want to do, but you gotta consult Boruto since it's his choice. And then he tells him that do not let Himawari or Hinata use this medication. I'm assuming for them it will damage them. That's why he was saying it. But it's weird that why would they include that? You know, don't get me wrong. I know they both have Byakugan. They don't want them accidentally taking the medication, but there's a reason. I feel like she accidentally or somebody accidentally takes the medication and something goes wrong because we don't know Amaru's true intentions. Anyways, from that point on, it cuts off to Code and Eida. Eida gets out and she walks away, and Code tries attacking her and he can't. And right away, his heart got stolen. That's Aida's powers. Her powers allow her to steal somebody's heart and maybe control their subconscious in a way, which is why they can't attack her or do anything. And the other power of hers is to see the real-time present and to see the past up until the point she was born. But she tells Code not to ever question her on what her age is or how old she is, because, you know, she's a girl after all. And you could tell Eida is kind of into that romancy type of stuff where the way she's kind of flirting with Code. It doesn't look like flirting, but the way she talks to him and how Code talks to Bug saying, you know, I like her, I want to talk to her, like my heart keeps pounding. It's so weird seeing Code in that light. But anyways, Code talks to her and then they start discussing on how she's all powerful. She knows everything from the point she was born. She's like, I looked into Ishiki dying and she's like, I got bored of his conversation with you, so I gave up on it. She's like, I could see everything, but I choose not to see. If you think about that, there's a reason why she gave the example with the surveillance cameras. She's like, I'm bored. You know, like she could see everything, but she decides not to even bother looking into it. I guess she could pop in anytime she wants to look at it, you know, to see what the past looks like and all that stuff. But yeah, with her real-time vision, that means that she could see everything happening at that current moment. So what I mean by that is she can't see 10 months in the future. She can't see a week ahead in the future. She could probably see the next like 3-4 minutes to 5 minutes in the future that somebody's gonna come to her and see her or whatever it is. As she said with Code, she's like, I knew you're coming to me. And in their timeline, it was probably an hour or so since Code infiltrated and all that stuff that she knew that he was coming. Then she starts talking about how Amado stripped her and re-modified her, and she's like, I want to kill him. He half modified my body, but that's not the real reason. She doesn't care about the modifications to her body. She cares that he toyed with her emotions. Since she wanted somebody to love, she's like, I can't love anybody, because she's like, I don't know if their feelings are true or not. Everybody's heart gets stolen when I talk to them. The only people that don't get stolen are Otsutsuki's and blood relatives, and we're assuming she has no other blood relatives besides possibly, if Eida is Amado's daughter, it could be Amado or the other cyborgs. That's one possibility. The second thing is Otsutsuki's. There's a reason why Jigen ordered her destruction, since everybody, male or female, will all fall in love with her and they don't want to hurt her. Which is why Jigen said he knew how to take her out. But that kind of explains why Boro couldn't take her out, and you know, even Bug fell for the trap as well. So then she talks about Kawaki, and she's like, he's Otsutsuki. Code's like, he's only halfway done his transformation, but he's like, he had a karma. The keyword there is had. That means Kawaki's karma is fully gone right now. So it's funny how that is his karma is fully depleted, which is why he says had. So we don't know how he's gonna get that back. So anyways, her and Code are talking, and Code tells her that maybe Kawaki's the one she could have a romantic relationship with, since he won't fall for her trap, falling in love with her. Now there's all sorts of things to interpret from there. So before I get on to that, I'll do that in my predictions. Now Code mentions Boruto, and he's like Boruto's doing a Otsutsuki transformation as well, and he has karma seal, and she's like, Boruto, he's kind of cute. And now we don't know who Eida's going after. Code also talks about his limiters and how he wants to remove them. That's his main reason of coming to Eida. So then Eida tells him that she has to rip out Amado's eyeball or torture him. Now going back to the previous chapter, Amado said to Shikamaru and Naruto that if I get caught, I'm not going to hold out. I'm going to tell the enemy or Code, whatever, right away on how to remove the limiters. So they're possibly foreshadowing that Code might come after Amado, and he's probably gonna give in real easily. And Code was saying that he's able to kill Naruto and Sasuke. He's like, I want to unleash my full powers so that I don't have any issues. Now Code here is kind of saying that he could take both Sasuke and Naruto on, which I don't doubt. He probably can. If they struggle with Jigen and Ishiki and Code is stronger, then most likely he could take them. But yeah, he's saying that he's gonna kill both the Uchiha and the Hokage. That means Naruto and Sasuke's death might be confirmed. It's a 50-50. We don't know yet. And we'll see that's how Sarada maybe gets her Mangekyo in the next couple of chapters. The reason I say that is because Code's gonna attack recently. There's a reason why Boruto scars on his eye. There's a reason for all that stuff. But anyways, her and Code talk about all that, and then she's like, don't you need a vessel? And he's like, yeah. He's like, I need one for the divine tree. I'm gonna have to take one of your Prince Charmings away. And then it ends from there, and they do a little toast, and Eida decides to help Code. So there's a lot of juicy stuff in this chapter, and oh man, it's crazy. All right, I don't even know what to say. Now my predictions is, I think in the future she probably goes to the good side. We don't know her fully yet, but yeah, I think Eida is gonna make everyone turn on Boruto and Kawaki. Maybe that's why Kawaki says, you know, the age of shinobi's over. Everyone's mind controlled by Eida, which is a possibility. We don't know. Because remember, she's able to control multiple people, right? And they can't attack her. And I think Boruto's the only one that can attack her. So I'm feeling that she's going to turn everybody on Boruto, and we don't know. Boruto may end up killing people. The biggest thing that gets me is about Sumire. Now, what I mean by that is, right now, in the past couple chapters, they've been talking about love and everything, and how Eida talks about romantic feelings, which I think she's going to toy with people that have romantic feelings towards each other due to jealousy, because she can't experience romantic feelings herself. So if she sees that Sumire likes Boruto, she may turn Sumire against Boruto, and I think Boruto kills her, which is probably why Kawaki maybe retaliates against her, or Boruto leaves the village due to that reason, or he gets kicked out of the village for that reason. I'm assuming people aren't going to know that they're being mind controlled, or they're being manipulated in their mind. Yeah, I feel like she turns everybody on Boruto, and a lot of stuff's gonna go down from there. Another thing is, her and Kawaki end up falling in love. That means Code is gonna focus his attention on Boruto, and he's gonna leave Kawaki alone, since he talks to Eida saying, you know, I'll let you have Kawaki and I'll take Boruto. And you can see even Bug is questioning. He's like, yo, these guys are like dealing like they're human trafficking or something. And he's like, I know they're both crazy like that. So that means that there's a possibility that Kawaki maybe falls in love with Eida, and maybe Eida starts chasing Kawaki, because if they are the same age and he, you know, he becomes rude to her and all sorts of stuff, she may experience feelings that she never had before. So there's a chance she may switch sides and maybe, you know, fall in love with Kawaki. Boruto will probably be the only one that could kill Eida, because remember, her powers don't work on anybody that's Otsutsuki, or don't work on anybody who's a blood relative. Now there's a chance Boruto might kill her in the future, which then leads to the retaliation of Kawaki as well, a possibility, which goes back to the beginning of episode 1 and chapter 1. Then there's all sorts of stuff from there, and that's what I think might happen in the next couple of chapters. We're gonna see some stuff go down. The other thing I predict is anyone who has anything for Boruto, they're gonna get hurt. I think that's what Momoshiki meant, that those blue eyes will eventually take everything away from you. If Eida sees that all these people care about Boruto and he's experienced all these feelings that she never had, then she may make everybody retaliate against him. Now it could be Sarada, for example. If she controls Sarada and Boruto has no choice but to give in, then everybody who Boruto is close with is gonna get hurt. Like Sarada, she may end up getting hurt, because it does look like she does have feelings for Boruto, but she, you know, she hides them. If she gets taken over by Eida and has to fight Boruto, or even Sumire, if she gets taken over by Eida and has to fight Boruto, then Boruto will eventually start losing everybody, which is what Momoshiki's words come true, saying that he'll eventually one day lose it all. So that could be a possibility on that. So we don't know what's going to happen. Boruto could lose his vision as well, as, you know, the medicine will remove his vision, but there's all sorts of stuff going to go down the next couple of chapters. The time skip is near, and I think Boruto's going to go on a training session with Sasuke, and he's going to take the medication because he wants to stay safe from everybody. That's why he even said last chapter, he's like, oh, it's time for training. So most likely the time skip's around the corner, and I think Code will probably attack after the time skip, not right now, but we'll see where everything goes. Another thing I think is Boruto might end up stabbing himself, or one of his close people ends up stabbing him and he gets a scar in his eye, because he probably transforms one day and he hates Momoshiki so much that he decides to stab himself. As you've seen in chapter 50s to 53, he's like, when fighting Ishiki, he's like, I'm ready to kill myself as well with the kunai. If that's a possibility, then Boruto may end up stabbing himself in the future. He ends up stabbing the eye Momoshiki controls to, you know, get rid of Momoshiki's control. Since what I think Boruto does is Boruto stabs the Byakugan, because Boruto knows that if his right eye goes, Momoshiki can't see or Momoshiki can't control. So I think Boruto's probably going to stab his own eye and making the scar on himself. Also, in chapter 1 and episode 1 of the anime and manga, you can see that Boruto has his right eye closed. Now if the right eye is closed, that means that the eye got stabbed or it's not there. That means Boruto lost his right eye, and that's why Momoshiki probably in the future cannot control him, and Boruto's able to use his powers. So most likely is that Boruto stabbed his eye's gone, and the Jogen just takes the shape in the eye. That's why he keeps the right eye closed. Otherwise, right now his eye's open, and in the anime too, his eye's open, and he can summon the Jogen. But in the first episode and chapter 1, you can see his eyes closed, and when he opens it, you can see the Jogen's already there. So most likely the Jogen probably takes the form of the eye or the shape of the eye, but his actual eye is gone. But yeah, this is what I think of this chapter, and I feel like Naruto and Sasuke are going to catch it as well in the future. We don't know what's going to happen. Anyways, this is me going over chapter 57, giving my thoughts and everything. So stay tuned for my future videos. Please comment, like, subscribe, and peace out.